Just grabbing a breather. It might have taken it out of him, that little bounce around the stage. And the crowd are getting stuck in. Du hast die Haare schön, a particular favourite for the German fans when Peter Wright's on. You've got lovely hair. That's the translation. Rod Harrington alongside me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box. We've got lovely hair as well. It's just not quite the same as Peter's.
Not quite the same colour. Is that what you mean? Thank you. Well, Matt hasn't got any hair. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at the odds here. Peter Wright massively odds on at 4-1. Matt Clark 11-4. And we have to say Peter Wright in the World Cup last week played exceptionally well.
Yeah, very good, wasn't he?
You know, the first two games he carried the world champion. And they were unlucky not to win it. What a great final it was last week. It was incredible. Even my wife watched the final last week.
Really?
Yes, unbelievable. It must have been good.
First leg, Matt to throw first. Game on.
Matt Clark has the advantage of throwing first. Every single seeded player has won today, apart from Vincent van der Voort, beaten by Roby John Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, the young man played exceptionally well, had 3 great checkouts. But I have to say, I mean, you mentioned earlier that we've seen a lot of bad scores, but there was 5 for Vincent. You know, 26, a 7, a 28, and at crucial times in legs. And
41.
That's unlike Vincent.
Certainly over the last sort of year, 18 months, he's been playing some really good stuff. It was all the catalyst for that was that win on the Euro Tour, really, wasn't it, in Austria? And he's been really strong and consistent. He worried Phil Taylor at the World Championship, but he's not really hitting those. He was disappointing in Venray a couple of weeks ago. Certainly disappointing for the 5,000 Dutchmen who were there to watch him.
Well, I thought that was just down to him wanting to win and impress his fellow Dutchman so much as Peter Wright puts in the first maximum, the second 3 darts. Yes, Dan, I thought it was just that, you know, he wanted to impress under his own crowd and just got a bit, you know, nervous over it. However, he's just lost a little bit of his consistency.
And Peter Wright, it's not just the hair and the outfit that's distinctive, it's the darts. You'll see. Badoing.
140.
Badoing.
Yeah, that's the technical term, I think.
Well, what it is, his points are so thin, they're not movable. And with all the technology in the machines that make darts, they can make them any shape, any colour, whatever you want.
They require 140.
But Peter Wright prefers to stick his points in with super glue.
Yes, they are. I had a little chat with him because I know you've been talking with him about these. But they are actually the tips from John Michael's darts, the guy from Greece, my big fat Greek dart player. He's the guy who has those wobbly points. Really thin they are. And he's just butchered a set of those darts and glued them on to his own barrels. And
they're not even central.
No, they're not. They're not. They're a little bit dodgy. They're not a bad shot,
no,
but they're not perfect.
But he'll never, if he gives up darts, he's never going to be a lathe setter or anything like that, is he?
Well, wouldn't have thought so. Double top. And he gets it.
Charge in the first leg.
But all joking apart, you know, Peter Wright has been a very, very strong dart player for a number of years now.
First. Game on.
And he is a tough cookie to crack. And that's why, you know, in the World Cup, I said that the Scottish were the big danger.
Yeah, they knocked out the Dutch, of course, in the semi-final.
40.
And Peter Wright, you know, he did play his part. They dovetailed together very well, Peter Wright and Gary Anderson. And I think you could see how much it meant to Peter. He is a proud Scotsman. I know, you know, he's lived in Norfolk, pretty much, or Suffolk, for a lot of his life, but he's very proud of his Scottish roots.
Well, he was born in Scotland, so why shouldn't he be?
But just to go back to his darts, I had a little chat with him, and I asked it, because I know we've talked about when John Michael was throwing these, and, like, one of the reasons that you have these very sort of thin, wobbly points, if you like, it's if you hit a wire, it sort of skids off it and doesn't bounce directly off the wire if you hit it flush. But what Pete was saying, the reason he likes it, and he showed me on that, he put 2 darts in there, and he says because they are so flexible, when you have 2 darts in there and you want to fire a 3rd one into the same bed, it will literally push those darts out the way, and they give. They sort of separate. It's like, you know, Moses in the Red Sea. They part rather than holding their holding their position, you might get an unlucky deflection off the flight and it bounces out completely.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, you're not on commission for Peter Wright darts,
no,
are you?
Certainly not.
Oh, that was quite an impressive salesmanship.
I
was quite impressed there.
I just want to bring people closer to the game that they love.
You are totally right. With that being flexible, it does push the dart out of the way. Instead of it being so rigid and bouncing off it, it doesn't. It has that little bit of give, and that was why years ago Keith Dell had the spring-loaded points for exactly the same reason.
Well, Peter Wright is one of those players as well who, even if he blocks a lot of that treble 20 bed, he's one of the ones who will stubbornly stay on there more often than perhaps other players do, rather than switching down for 19s or 18s or wherever.
100. 80 require 160.
Yes, you're exactly right. Only needs to set this up. Matt Clark's going to come back for the 1-3-1. And it's good to see Matt Clark getting back to a bit of form as well. He's had a lean couple of years, well, probably 3 years.
Well, he was very impressive in seeing off John Henderson in the opening round. That wasn't impressive, though, that fat two that he's just hit. Yeah, he beat him 6-5. He had a 95 average.
42.
He had a 1-4-3 checkout.
20.
And hit 46% of his doubles. Now, that is pretty decent stuff.
Very tidy.
But he's 2-0 down here as Peter Wright pins that double 10.
Matt to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, Peter Wright now going out to round about the 116 to 1 on. Matt Clark 9 to 1 against. Which not a lot of value there in this game.
60.
Maybe only on, I know a lot of the markets are who wins the next leg, and obviously if you're looking for value on Peter Wright to win a leg against a throw, that's where you can get a bit of value.
60.
Well, Peter Wright, he is a winner on the Euro Tour last year, won in Dusseldorf, beat Simon Whitlock in the final. But he's had a good year this year. I mean, obviously he had the UK
45.
Open final, beat Phil Taylor along the way. It was just a bridge too far to try and stop Michael van Gerwen in that final. I'm looking to fill this up. Now, those darts going to help him? I think they might have done.
Well, what you were talking about, Matt, exactly happened there. Dan, sorry. That's exactly what happened. You can actually over-pitch the dart and it forces the other ones out of the way and it fell in.
25.
So, I'm
there
sure...
is method in his madness.
Absolutely.
I mean, to be fair, the likelihood is Peter Wright will change his darts in about a fortnight anyway, because he does that.
But you've got to have a great mindset to be able to do that. Because as soon
57.
as the darts you've changed to start to go a little bit wrong, it's easier to blame them. We see that in Barney all the time. He changes them. Look what he did in the World Cup, and all of a sudden, you know, all the excuses come out. But Peter Wright doesn't. He sticks with them, and he's got a great mindset that he makes them work.
I mean, he's this year he's won 2 tournaments. He's hit a 9 darter. He's made 3 finals as well as those 2 wins he had. And one of those was a major final at the UK Open.
100.
And earlier he said, look, I've had a good year, but I think these darts will help me go further. And if that's the case, then maybe he can take that. I mean, the next step for him is winning a big TV tournament. That has to be it.
Yes.
132.
Well, that's a great setup from Matt Clark. Leaves the
104.
double top to hold on to his throw. Now to break the throw, Peter Wright, and he's going to get a dart at a double. Double's going to be double 16. And double 16 it is. And, you know, Matt Clark didn't do much wrong in that leg.
Full flag,
Peter Wright takes out the 104 and he leads 3 legs to 0. And as I said, you know, if you're looking for value in some matches like this, it is picking the player to win against the throw, and that was against the throw at about 5 to 6 on. So,
yeah, 3-0 up and doing it the hard way. 2 breaks to throw there. So, I mean, throwing for a 4-0 lead. 100 average at the moment for Peter Wright. We saw 100 average from Cristo Reyes in the first round. We saw 101 from Dave Chisnell earlier on. Peter Wright on course to do something similar here and just send a little message out.
140.
What's that?
well, I think with Matt Clark, Dan, I think he's probably the most still person I've ever seen on the hockey.
Yeah.
Absolutely rigid, apart from that right arm.
97.
Yeah, statuesque.
He is, yes.
Not a lot of movement with Peter Wright, though, it has to be said.
Well, there's more movement in his darts than his body.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I have to say, I think he's back to throwing. He's slowed his pace down because, particularly in the Premier League, he seemed to speed up a little bit. And I was never sure that's the right way to go with Peter. I think when you saw the best from Peter Wright on his, say, run at the World Championships, which of course really made his name, all the way to the final where he lost to MVG, he was just so still and slow and methodical and accurate. 6-6 now.
75.
Well, he could end up in the madhouse here, but Matt Clark not really close enough to put any pressure on, apart from a 180. And we see Matt Clark, as you see, the only thing that moves is that arm.
57.
Well, is he going straight for the 3-3 or 2-2-2? I think straight at it. Straight at it, it is.
Peter Wright.
I've got to tell you a little bit of a funny about Peter Wright. He was on the plane sitting 3 seats in front of me.
Right.
And I had a bottle of water in my overhead case. And the pressure burst the bottle. And as we landed, coming down, obviously, the water ran along the case and started dripping on his head. And he had to move seats.
Wow.
Because of my bottle of water. So I will own up to that now. I didn't own up to it at the time, obviously, because I'm a chicken and I won't do that.
180 from Peter Wright. He's not been distracted by Rod Harrington's savage attempts to sabotage his tournament. You do realise if he goes and wins this, he's going to want that every tournament.
The water bottle challenge.
66.
Like a blessing.
Yeah, we was all trying to work out where the water has come from until I checked my bag and it was the bottle was half empty. Still, never mind. But
52.
Going back to the darts, I mean, a real strong performance here from Peter Wright. He hasn't really given Matt Clark much of a chance to get into this game.
No, not really. In fact, Matt Clark has not had a dart at a double as things stand. It was that 104 checkout which really hurt him.
Yeah, because Matt had hit the 1-3-2 to leave double top, so he didn't do a lot wrong.
That's probably Matt Clark's best visit of the entire game, to set up that shot. Never got a poke at it because Peter Wright's taken out a ton plus for a breaker throw, go 3-0 up. It's an absolute killer.
Yes, and as I said, we're going back to the odds. You know, there wasn't a lot of value in backing Peter Wright, but against the throw, there was value. And again here, Peter Wright is in prime position.
105.
To take advantage of that.
You require 132.
Well, will he go? Yes, he's going to go 25 because Matt Clark's on 170.
Oh, loads of room there if he wants another one. Oof.
92.
Well, treble 14 is a bigger target, but
70.
Yeah, treble 14 was a bigger target,
but
come on, Matt. Inviting now. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Hit the red bit.
145.
A little wry smile from Matt Clark there.
You require 40. Aim shot
5-0. A third
Peter
breaker
Wright.
throw, and Matt Clark, well, he could be on the wrong end of a whitewash here.
Yeah, let's be honest though, Peter Wright's played exceptional.
He certainly has.
Game on. 103, 104 average, 50% on the doubles. Well, that's pretty tight. And like you said, that the 104 was the big change in the game.
Oh, look at that. He just took an extra moment with that final dart, Peter Wright, making sure. Now, when I spoke to him earlier, he said, I hit 1-9 darter. I will hit more with these darts. We haven't had a 9 darter on the Euro Tour since 2013 in Gibraltar. That was Ross Smith. Is Peter Wright this weekend the man to finally break that drought? Not this leg.
The stats are very impressive there. Front 9 just on the 120 mark.
60.
Overall average just on 106 and 50% on doubles. I mean, that is as, you know, if you threw that every time, you'd be happy playing Van Gerwen, actually.
That's the A game, isn't it?
Yes,
it
is.
I mean, look, we do see now, increasingly, averages in the 110s, but, you know, if you average 105 and you're hitting 50% of your doubles, you can beat anybody, whatever they're throwing. They can be throwing 115 and you can still win games with that.
Yes, you're exactly right. But I guarantee Peter Wright will come off and say there's room for improvement.
No, he always does. He always does.
93.
Other players come off and say other things. Barney comes off and says, I'm tired. need a holiday and goes to Tenerife or Spain for a week instead of coming to Riesa.
Cristo Rey has left Tenerife
100.
to come here. Well,
because Barney went there.
not at all. Of course not.
No, he's
the 5-time world
54.
champion, the legend.
well, that's actually why we need him here, because he is the 5 times world champion.
People want to see him, but right now it's Peter Wright who's thrilling them, and it's a 14-dart leg to complete a whitewash. Even Matt Clark leads the applause. Peter Wright. I'm not sure it's an accident that he's had his hair the colour of kryptonite, because he's just seen off Superman 6-0 with 103 average, hitting 50% of his doubles. That is as good as we've seen this weekend. Dave Chisnell has come to play proper darts. Peter Wright has come to play proper darts. We've got a few more big names to come. Are they going to step up to the plate and provide yet more brilliance that we've seen at the International Darts Open? Next, it'll be Mervyn King against Max Hopp, a repeat of the World Championship first-round game, which was an absolute belter at Christmas. Michael van Gerwen on the way as well, the world #1. He'll face William O'Connor, but we'll grab a few words with Peter Wright, your 6-0 winner here against Matt Clark. Oh, he's even got some fancy socks. And we'll be back for King v Hopp in just a few moments here in Riesa at the International Darts Open.
Peter, congratulations. 6-0. Was it as easy as it looked like?
No, and most definitely. Matt Clark's a fantastic player. He's just starting to come back. But our secret powers, because obviously I was playing Superman, and I had Flash on that one. And I had Batman on that one.
Awesome, awesome superpower live on stage. One question, Peter. You hear these guys singing. Do you actually understand what they are singing?
I have beautiful hair.
Absolutely. Versteht es. Versteht euch. Nochmals Glückwunsch, herzlichen Dank, many thanks. Peter Wright.